Oh, Burn Live, y'all. Marijuana keeping y'all connected. Where we talk about news, politics, weed, drama, and everything. Yeah. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to another Burn Live show. Like I said, where we marijuana keeping y'all connected. We hashtagging each red out. There's been a lot of things going on in the world today. Man, you got Andrew Tate, brother, doing another interview. You got LBGTQ complain. Soccer woman announces that she quits. She's quitting soccer to protest that men should join women's soccer. This is her last year. This is her last year doing this, and it's gonna be one hell of a ride. One hell of a ride. Ladies and gentlemen, it's it's amazing what we got to go through and what we're looking at and what time it is in this damn culture. You know, we love each other. We're here for each other. We have a lot of respect. We do a lot of things to help each other out. But this massacre of us teaching our kids, teaching our young ones that they can be anything they want in school is crazy. Also, there's a controversial movie coming out that has a lot to do with kids trafficking. It's the number one movie in America today. I want to do an article. I might do a special article on it. Something a little different, something that's just genuine, focusing on that. Thinking about that. Also, hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right, y'all. I'm back. I had to check on some things and fix some things. So yet again, we are talking about there's going to be a lot of sex trafficking and things going on. That's the number one movie that's actually out here headed out here and stuff like that. I really think that we should take the time out and talk about it. Maybe not today. Maybe not today. I'm not sure exactly when we're going to talk about it. Today I was going to finish up what we was talking about yesterday with the Marty Yang Yang show. I ain't gonna do y'all like that. I ain't gonna do y'all like that. I'm not gonna do y'all like that. I do got this one article I am gonna start us out. It's talking about the pageants. Nah, let's get into this military. Let's get into this military, y'all, because the military is really the reason why our taxes is high and why we paying all this money and we don't need to be paying all this money. So I just found this article. I think this is a very important article. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss.
Against racism. And if the Democrats want to say that white nationalists are racist, I'm totally against that too.
But that's not a democratic definition. The definition of a white nationalist.
Well, that's your definition. My definition is
the
racism
definition.
bad.
The definition.
Next question.
The definition. The definition
Next
is
question.
that the
Next
belief
question.
that.
I'm totally against racism. And if the Democrats want to say that white nationalists are racist, I'm totally against that too.
But that's not a democratic definition. The definition of a white nationalist.
Well, that's your definition. My definition is racism bad.
The definition.
Next question.
The definition. The definition
Next
is that.
So white nationalist means racist. Ladies and gentlemen, white nationalist means racist. I remember calling a white person a cracker meant racist. I'm just saying, just stating facts. I remember you called a white person a cracker, you was fighting, just like calling a black person a nigger. Same difference. It's amazing how now you call a white nationalist sounds professional.
That the white race is superior to all other races.
Totally out of the question.
So do you believe that white nationalists are racist?
Yes, if that's what a racist is, yes.
Okay, boy, so that didn't clear up anything. And just for those who are out there wondering, white nationalism is racism. It is the belief that whites are superior to other races. That's what it means. That's the definition. That's not a democratic definition. That's the definition. But after that, Senator Tuberville finally told our Manu Raju off camera that white supremacists are racist. Now, Nia Malika, this is a 68-year-old white man who's lived almost his entire life in the South.
All right, guys. So I want to react to this interview that took place between Caitlin Collins at CNN and Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville from Alabama. Okay, because CNN is currently having a field day with some comments that they are taking out of context.
Now, remember yesterday, if y'all watched my show yesterday, remember that the Martin Yanny Yantin show, Martin had explained that Mississippi, I do believe, Mississippi, Alabama are republicly ran, and the black folks down there in them states are not doing no better than they were doing during the Jim Crow era. And those statements like that is kind of hard to digest and digress to saying that okay, black folks in the South are still poor. They still got slave owners. Like I go to the South. I've been going to the South since 1990, and I still have not technically dealt with racism in the South. I'm from the Midwest. South is only 6 hours away. I haven't dealt with racism. I'm from the Midwest, St. Louis, Missouri. Supposedly, the last state to free slaves, which a lot of people really, really believe, and I don't understand why they believe that or believe some hypocritical bullshit. Because Missouri was not the last state to be free of slaves. We was somewhere in the middle. So now, and then if you remember yesterday, he was like, most of the South is ran by white people. So this conversation, this breakdown will continue from what we was talking about yesterday and understanding that people are people. Democrat laws are ran horribly in states where black people are ran are at are hanging out, and they are terrible. They're ruined. They're degrading. They're disgusting. Any of those words does describe the black community in a black neighborhood ran by a black democratical person. Now here's a white Republican who runs a bunch of black people, and now they're trying to hit them with some racial conflict or some racial diversity. That's, oh my God.
Text on purpose to try to smear this man as a racist when clearly this man is not racist. He's worked with black people all his life. Like, I mean, quite literally, the guy was a football coach at Ole Miss during the 90s. He has worked with black people all his life, right? I find it hard to believe that this guy is some sort of flaming racist. But, you know, Tommy Tuberville has gotten in the hot water because of comments that he makes in which he's telling the truth, and he doesn't necessarily have the best politician spin, okay, or the way that he kind of, you know, says things. He just kind of says what he believes. Like, you know, that time where he called out the fact that Democrats are soft on crime because they believe that the people that are doing the crime are owed reparations.
Some people say, well, they're soft on crime. No, they're not soft on crime. They're pro-crime. They want crime. They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have. They want reparation because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. Bullshit. They are not owed that.
So just to be pretty clear here, Senator Tuberville, in addition to falsely saying that Democrats want crime, that's a quote, they want crime. They want reparations. That is the discussion about whether descendants of slaves should be paid reparations. They want reparations because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. That is, Caitlin, the most abjectly racist statement I have heard from a U.S. senator in my life.
No.
Oh, wow. I see. So basically, y'all, I'm sorry. My camera went out. I got muted. My bad. But smoking weed, you smoke weed in your my bad, y'all. My bad. Y'all know how I get. Y'all, I'll be wanting y'all to hear, so I'll mute the mic. I forget to unmute. But basically, y'all, you you don't want to be in a shithole environment where crime is high, where niggas acting a fool. You don't even want to. You don't hear stories like this in trailer park areas. You don't hear stories about mass shootings. You don't hear stories about people getting robbed and cars getting violent. The Kill Boys. The Kill Boys. Another example. So I gotta really understand how is this man explaining
No,
something
it's
that's
not
racist.
racist. Tommy Tuberville is simply just restating what the woke revolutionaries told us during the BLM riots of 2020 and also recently during the BLM riots in France. You know, the riots that are destroying that country, right? You guys remember.
And I didn't talk about that. For people that don't know, let me enlighten you what's going on. A kid stole a car. I'm not finna put what they put in the news when you look it up, because they're gonna put in the newspaper joyride. So let me just update you real quick. They're gonna put joyride. Kid was joyriding in somebody else's vehicle that wasn't his. He got pulled over by the police officer, almost ran over the police officer, and the police officer put a slug in the kid's chest. And now everybody like, oh, he's wrong. He should have did this. He should have did this. Why the kid was stealing? Why the kid stealing the car? Why is it okay for you to steal a car and now you want to call it joyriding? Why you want to call it? Why is theft, stealing, petty crime? That's not petty crime. Let's go to Israel. Let's go to Bangkok. Let's go to let's start with the P. What's the P word? What's the P word? What's the P word? Pakistan. Oh yeah, let's go to Pakistan. Let's go to Pakistan. Let's go steal in Pakistan and see how many ligaments you have when you leave up out of there. That's real shit.
The woke revolutionaries were telling us that the looting is a form of reparations.
I don't care if somebody decides to loot a Gucci or a Macy's or a Nike, because that makes sure that that person eats. That makes sure that that person has.
That got to be the most dumbest shit ever. Sorry for cussing, YouTube, but that's dumb. I don't care if it's still Louis or Gucci or stuff, because they're gonna make sure that person eat. But then our taxes go up. The Uncle Sam like, you know what? They're stealing. Those niggas are stealing. Let's tax them. Let's tax those niggas. So we was taxing them. For an example, we was taxing them 0.3%. Stealing now, they're taxing us like 6.3%. Technically, they're taxing us 50% on each item that is costing. I just did a report like maybe 3 weeks ago on that. So they're really, really taxing. For somebody to say some dumbass stuff like that and understanding this, I guarantee you, y'all, this person right here pays taxes and goes to work, but she don't care. Let her nigga friend steal. She don't care. Shirley stealing because her kids got to eat and she got to get her new nails done, her new eyelashes, because they not stealing real things or things of value. Y'all notice that? Y'all seen the reports. I know y'all seen the reports. They're not stealing things of value. Girl that stole a while back, they was eating cookies and cupcakes and stuff. Come on, man.
closed.
Black Lives Matter Chicago rallied in support of people who looted and are locked up at the police station at 18th and State.
That is reparations. Anything they want to take it, because these businesses have insurance.
Now, Democrats unequivocally support Black Lives Matter. And the reason why I know is because they supported them during the protests of 2020 when they were looting and rioting. And I guarantee you, if you ask any Democrat senator, do they support Black Lives Matter today? They're going to tell you, yeah, they do, because they don't want to be called racist. So it's not unfair for somebody like Tommy Tuberville to extrapolate the fact that Democrats, because they support Black Lives Matter, they support looting as a form of reparations, especially considering how Democrats at the local level have passed progressive criminal justice reform laws, which in my opinion are the biggest threat to this country. They pass these laws because they say that we're locking up black people's races because of all the injustices done to black people. They are owed the ability to be able to steal and to loot because
they're old. Okay. Yeah. What if they decide to vote in everybody that's homeless, everybody that ain't got nothing, everybody that's technically on the streets? What if they just locked them up because they were like, man, we want to clean up the streets? You'll be mad. You will be mad, upset. And I heard some of you, and I know you ain't going to comment, but I heard your thoughts. I know what you're saying. Oh, man, I wouldn't care, man. They need to go anyway, man. They ain't taking up space. No, you wouldn't. You'll feel sad. You'll feel some type of way for the first 3 months. First 3 months, you will feel horrible, disgusted. You might almost want to protest with the Black Lives Matter. If they locked up every person that didn't, fuck it, you ain't, like, for me, you know what I'm saying? They don't like how I'm talking. And how I talk, I know they'll say I'm racist. What they lock me up? It's not like I would have a line out there of Black Lives, not Black Lives Matter, but Burn Live members. Second Amendment, you know what I'm saying? First Amendment, freedom of speech. It's not like I would see those and feel that warmth of that mist of people. But to say that, and we know, we heard, Black Lives Matter, that's a democratical movement. But when us conservatives repeat or say or quote, we did it in the story yesterday. You remember how many Democrats wanted to defund the police? And Martin Yang was like, no, they didn't. They didn't say it. Had a 7-minute video. 7-minute video of talking about how many Democrats. Okay. Let's get back to this story. I'm sorry, y'all.
Hey, we can't lock them up for petty crimes. It's not their fault, right? So Tommy Tuberville was simply just restating what the woke revolutionaries have said themselves and what Democrats, it seems like they support through policy, right? The soft on crime policies. They are pro-crime, right? Jake Tapper tries to act like that's not a fact. It is a fact. Just look at all these liberal cities. California, no bail, right? That even 50 Cent was like, yo, this city's done. Democrats are pro-crime. They just are. Look at all the criminals running their cities. Again, Tommy Tuberville didn't say that in the most eloquent way, but I understood exactly what he was saying. Now, that brings me to this interview right here and what CNN is raging about right now, which is Tommy Tuberville refusing to go along with the race games that CNN is trying to play, the semantics game, when it comes to this conversation about quote-unquote white nationalists in the military. Because the military, after January 6th, started sounding the alarm on white nationalism and white supremacy in the military, right? And they're trying to weed out the white supremacists. Now, Tommy Tuberville, who, has obviously caught on to the rhetoric of the Democrats and how they smear everybody as a white supremacist that disagrees with them, basically doing an interview when asked about this, said, look, hold on now. Democrats smear everybody that disagrees with them as white supremacists or white nationalists. Quote, there are a lot of good people who are Trump supporters in the military, he said, but for some reason, my Democrat colleagues want to portray everybody who's a Trump supporter as a white nationalist. That's not true.
Y'all know where I'm finna go. Huh? Y'all know. So, I'm a white nationalist? Hey. So, hold on. Because I gotta come back over to the comment section real quick, because I'm going to take time for y'all to hear this out and get comment. So, shall I start putting on my shows white nationalist burn live show? Huh? Am I just, because I'm a Trump supporter. So am I supposed to? I wonder, shall I put that quote and put I am a white nationalist? That's hard. That's like, I really want to see what people, how y'all would think and view that. He's a white nationalist. Okay. Me out of all people. Okay, cool. Oh. Okay, Surveyor just said, hold on, what'd you say one more time?
Burn live.
Burn live.
White. What was it?
I don't know. It was hard what you said, though. She said, hold on, I think she said burn live white nationalist commentary show. I should start putting that down there. I need to let my people know. I'm really like maybe bothered, but not bothered, because it's hilarious that somebody's like, okay, yeah, he's a white nationalist. He got tattoos, he got dreadlocks, he say nigger a lot. Yep. Yeah, he's a white nationalist. I fit the description to the T. I guess.
Now, again, what Tommy Tuberville is saying here is something I state on my channel all the time. I even have a mug for it. If you want to buy it at my website, you can, gforemanbcp.com.
But y'all should go look that up.
The definition of racist, according to the left in 2023, is anybody who disagrees with the Democrat Party. Clearly, Tommy Tuberville knows this, right? So when people say, hey, we want to ban white nationalists from the military, you got to slow down, because we need to clearly define what a white nationalist is. Democrats have been screaming and telling us for the last few years, or for the longest time, really, that white nationalists or white supremacists is anybody that disagrees with them. They say that the Republican Party is a party of white supremacy and white nationalism, which clearly is not true, right? That's not a true thing. There are no white nationalists or white supremacists in the Republican Party, but that hasn't stopped Democrats like Cori Bush from saying that and making that accusation, in which nobody ever challenges her on that and to say, well, how are the Republicans white supremacists, right? That's never challenged. Now, Tommy Tuberville doing this interview went on to say that, hey, they call them white nationalists, I call them Americans. Basically, what he's trying to say is that who the Democrats call as white nationalists, aka anybody that disagrees with them, aka Trump supporters, I call them Americans. That's the full context of that interview. Again, we talked about this 1,000 times on my channel. Again, I even have a mug for it, right? It's a meme at this point, okay? The Democrats' definition of racist, because, again, anybody that disagrees with them is a racist, is a white supremacist, is a white nationalist. But, again, the liberal media, because they are the liberal media, they took these comments out of context. And doing this interview, CNN's Democrat Party propagandist, Caitlin Collins, is going to press Tommy Tuberville on his comments about white nationalists because he.
Okay. I'll teach y'all something real quick. Okay. Y'all looking at this lady's face? Now, I have not, and this is something I'm gonna try to teach y'all. And if I'm right, y'all gonna see. If I'm wrong, you're definitely gonna see. Okay. This is reading body language and facial expression. Okay. You see this lady's face. You see his face. You see how he's got a smile on. You know what I'm saying? He's promptly supposed to be ready to answer these questions. Y'all see her face? What her face telling y'all? I know y'all probably said a lot of different things or whatever, but let me blow her face up one good time for y'all. Eyebrows downward, down, in, towards, kind of like anger without anger. Because she's not angry. This is not an angry face. But I just want y'all to notice how her eyebrows are down. I'm gonna start breaking this down in shows too, when it comes to body language and people when they're expressing themselves and when they're trying to talk, because a lot of facial expression is read in between. And if I'm not lying, you can go look this up. It's in between your eyebrows, in between your eyes, in between your lips. All up in here is the main, and you have a 1/10 of a second. This is just a frozen of it, but you can already tell that her attentions is not headed in a good direction.
He is basically blocking some of the military promotions that have to go through Congress. Okay, so again, they're going to press him about this, and I want to react to this interview that is going viral because again, people are severely taking this man's comments out of context to try to smear him as some type of racist when simply that's just not true. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Right. I do want to give you a chance to clarify some comments you made recently on white nationalists serving in the military. For those who are watching, if they haven't heard your remarks, this is what you said.
Do you believe they should allow white nationalists in the military?
Well, they call them that. I call them Americans.
Yeah, so it's funny how people want to get so butthurt about these comments, right? But imagine this, right? I want to see the media ask Democrats and liberals, do you believe that black nationalists should be in the military? Right? Because the way this conversation is framed, they only frame it from the perspective, well, the only races in the military are whites, right? There are no other races in the military, and we want to rid the military of racism, of white nationalists. I'm like, okay, well, what about black nationalists? I'm pretty sure there are black nationalists in the military as well, too. What are you doing to rid any type of racial nationalism?
The black nationalist people, they out here in broad daylight too. They run their shows. They in suits and ties. They out there. They out there. We I covered them. They're going around state to state, actually going around state to state to black communities talking about, oh, the young is starting to vote Republican and what we can do to get our black community back. Okay, yeah. How about get rid of Black Lives Matter? They claim that. Quit asking for reparations because reparations is gonna come out of our own pockets. That's just still financially doesn't make sense. I understand. But then hold on. This is the part where I want to reverse it back around to the reparations. And then I'll be like, okay, check this out. Now, if you're going to keep giving out illegal immigrants money and stuff, people that definitely don't belong here, then yeah, you might as well fork over some money to the black people that are here, that are not doing nothing and give them some reparation because they're not doing nothing. They're simply doing exactly what yeah. Go ahead and give black people reparations so I can get a little piece of change too. Yeah, no, fuck it. I'm just keeping it real.
Out of the military, right? Again, I would just love to hear any Democrat answer the question of, do you believe that black nationalism is in the military, right? Or do you believe that black nationalism should be allowed? Also, do you believe that black nationalism is an issue, right? Do you believe that black nationalism is racist, right? I would love to hear a Democrat or a liberal answer that question. Watch them do mental gymnastics and backflips to try to, weasel their way through the answer. But notice how she didn't play the full context of this man's comments, which him saying that, hey, Democrats define white nationalists as basically anybody that disagrees with them. And I just reject that, right? I don't think that's the case. That's what Democrats call them. I call them Americans. Who he's actually referring to is not white nationalists or actual white nationalists or racists. He's actually referring to Trump supporters, conservatives. That's who he's referring to.
Do you want to explain those comments, Senator?
Yeah, first of all, I'm totally against any type of racism.
Okay. Bam, that's the end of the conversation right there. I'm totally against any type of racism, right? That should be enough for CNN and their race hustling, but obviously it's not.
Okay. I was a football coach for 40 years, and I dealt and had opportunity to be around more minorities than anybody up here on this hill. But when our military was being attacked after 9/11, after January 6th, and that was my first day on the Senate floor, I thought it was outrageous of what senators from the Democratic side, Chuck Schumer said on the floor that night, calling people racist, calling people nationalists, white nationalists. White nationalists is just another word that they want to use other than racism. I'm totally against anything to do with racism. But the thing about being a white nationalist is just a cover word for the Democrats now, where they can use it to try to make people mad across the country. Identity politics. I'm totally against that. But I'm for the American people. I'm for military. I'm for Christian conservatives, Democrats, whoever wants to be in the military to fight for this country, to protect this country. That's what it's all about.
But just
facts, right? Again, he's clearly saying, look, Democrats are defining white nationalists as anybody who disagrees with them, right? People who politically disagree with them. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't want white nationalists in the military if that's what you're defining a white nationalist as a Trump supporter, because that is what they define a white nationalist as. And that's not the definition of white nationalism. It's not, right? He's clearly stating that in this interview, but Caitlin Collins is going to ignore that part of it. She's never going to ask the question of, well, is it legitimate for Democrats to be running around calling Republicans and conservatives and people who disagree with them politically white supremacists and white nationalists, right? They will never ask that question, but they're going to melt down and have a fit over Tommy Tuberville basically not buying into these semantics and race hustling games from the liberal left. Dude clearly came out and said, I'm against all forms of racism. That's it, right? That's all you need to hear. That's all you need to hear.
Just to be clear, you agree that white nationalists should not be serving in the U.S. military. Is that what you're saying?
If people think that a white nationalist is a racist, I agree with that.
Again, if people think that white nationalists are racist, if that is the definition they want to accept, again, this is what he's saying that, yeah, I agree with that. They shouldn't be in the military. Again, there's nothing controversial about that, right? There's nothing controversial about that. Okay?
I agree.
A white nationalist is someone who believes that the white race is superior to other races.
Well, that's some people's opinion. And I don't think,
That's
I mean,
an
a lot.
opinion.
Oh, it is a matter of opinion, right? Because Democrats told us this is an opinion, right? When they go out here and they smear Trump supporters and everybody that disagrees with them as white nationalists and white supremacists, then clearly it's an opinion at this point. There is no established definition for white nationalists. So again, Tommy Tuberville is saying, look, it's
Notice for the first time, she been asking every question. She done had that look. When he said what he said, white nationalism opinion, is the first time you ever seen her eyebrows actually rise. But not a full rise, but almost, y'all, this is almost a look of when you're intentionally the word content. Okay, almost, but this is shock. They're like, ooh, I got him. Cause now I can break him down. I can educate him. I can put him on Front Street. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, okay.
It's a matter of opinion at this point in terms of what you want to define it as, right?
Pardon?
What's your opinion?
My opinion of a white nationalist, if somebody wants to call him white nationalist, to me is an American. It's an American. Now, if that white nationalist is a racist, I'm totally against anything that they want to do because I am 110% against racism. But I want somebody that's in our military, that's strong, that believes in this country, that's an American, that will fight along anybody, whether it's a man.
All right. What year did the word white nationalist come out?
I found this on the web.
White nationalist. What? Because I never heard this in my life, and I've been covering politics for 7 years. It's a form of white supremacist. Like white pride. Like white pride. So what is gay pride? Huh? 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 And it still doesn't say the year that this word come out, you know what I'm saying? The year that this word took form. Ooh, they said white pride. So I guess gay pride is part of it too. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know. I probably don't have nobody gay.
Man or woman, black or white, red, it doesn't make any difference. And so I'm totally against identity politics. I think it's ruining this country, and I think that Democrats ought to be ashamed for how they're doing this because it's dividing this country and it's making this country weaker every day.
But that's not identity politics. You said a white nationalist is an American.
It is identity politics.
You said a white nationalist is an American, but a white nationalist is someone who believes horrific things. Do you really think that's someone who should be serving in the military?
Is a black nationalist an American? Again, this is a question that I want to hear them answer. Because again, this is how they play these tricks in the media, right? If you want to go by the definition of white nationalism, right? Not the Democrat definition, but the actual definition, which is somebody that, you know, believes in like a pan-nationalism, that believes in a white ethno state, that wants to ensure the survival of the white race. If they're a citizen in this country, then by definition, they're an American.
The exact same thing it goes for black nationalists. The same exact definition. That sounds like a lot of black people that be expressing themselves on TikTok. That sounds like Black Lives Matter. That sounds like Jesse Jackson and them when they be talking. That sounds like you kneeling during the national anthem. Now, y'all done seen this lady, all different facial expressions, but them eyebrows still keep low, keep down. She's even smirk. That's a smirk. Kind of a laugh, kind of a like, ha ha ha, you know what I'm saying? But almost with the word, almost content, man. I never seen a lady with so much content or force of a facial expression. Wow.
Right. Just like by definition, a black nationalist or a Latino nationalist is an American. Right. So that statement that a white nationalist is an American, that is not a controversial statement. But I mean, that's just a true statement. I mean, just like, again, a black nationalist is an American. But see, again, the problem here is that what they want him to say is that, well, no, I don't want any white nationalists in the military, without properly defining what a white nationalist is. Because if you go by the Democrats' definition of a white nationalist, and if they're the ones that are dictating what a white nationalist is, then again, you're going to have people that are banned from the military that have political ideologies that are different than them. And that is the whole point of what this man is saying. Now, is he saying this in the most eloquent way? No, right?
Let's go down the rabbit hole. We have already softened up our military. Bro, if we keep softening up our military and our people and our citizens and our men, if we keep weakening our men, we're going to get ran by another country. I'm calling it how I see it now. Now I'm starting to see a global takeover from somewhere else. Like, this is no. I'm going there. I'm about to start putting up roadmaps and red strings, and like, this got to be connected to this and this, and I'm about to draw a board out, because this right here just dawned on me. It just woke me up to understand, like, we're really going to try to say that because you think a certain way you can't fight with me, but you still love this country? I don't want that. I don't want a bunch of WNBA personality people fighting for this country. I don't want that. We don't need that. We don't want a weak military. I don't care what mindset people are in. If you want to fight for this country, you love this country, let's go fight. But this right here, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is getting deep. It's getting deep. I don't think people really understanding how far a person will pull a string. Well, people do, and that's why they call it the matrix. But this right here is really I'm starting to really see something that's, I'm not for it. I'm not about it. This is not working for me. Okay? This is troubling. We're really taking our guys. We're really taking strong-hearted, strong man, strong mind, and asking for them to be weak. And then we're going to put them in the military, go fight. Is that really what we need? Is that really smart? That's I don't know, y'all. If y'all don't see it like that, my bad. I'm sorry. But I'm starting to see a movement that shows that every time they go for things like this, hey, we just want to say racist here. We want to say racist there. We want to say racist here. We want to cancel this person. We want to cancel this person. Anybody that's strong-minded, we want to cancel. Anybody that thinks Trump supporter, we want to cancel. Anybody that thinks independent. Why do we want to cancel so many people? I got a lot of people that are strong-minded that are doing things, but they stay away from stuff like this. I don't think you probably can talk the way you can talk like this. This is a whole nother level. But I'm really thinking that the Democratic Party is weakening America so we can be ran over by China, Russia, Ukraine, Pakistan. Anybody can run over people that's going to see guns flying. Like, oh no, I'm sorry. We're not going to shoot back and try to survive. Y'all might call me crazy. I know people calling me crazy now. They like, man, you done lost it. You done really went batshit crazy. How you thinking now? Yeah, I can say that. That's cool. I feel you. I understand. I would think the same thing too. Mm. Regular or recurrent behavior in a yeah. That's about it right there. That looks it right there. We are looking at the military at its finest, upgraded mode. I don't get it. I really don't. Well, I feel like I get it. I feel like I'm starting to see what's going on. I don't like it, but I'm starting to see what's going on. I think we need to I think we need to really, really be careful of how we stack up against the odds. Because I'm not going to lie to nobody when I say the odds are against us right now. We got a whole mass of people who thinks one way and be like, okay, everything matters. You know what I'm saying? I need to add this person. This life matters. And every life matters. I'm with that. I agree with that. I'm totally for that. I'm not disagreeing with nobody on that matter. What I am saying is that we cannot weaken America. We cannot weaken America just to please everybody here in America. That is what I'm truly am against. I don't think that that should happen. I don't think that should be where we're heading to. But with the stories that we have been covering and the movement that we have seen, that is technically what they are doing is weakening us. You can say no. Y'all can say no. And understandable, say no. But they are. Any way to hush a strong minded man, like, man, look, we we are getting so scarce, like scarce as man. The only way we feel like to stay alive is to be in front of a camera. But then you know what I'm saying. Somebody as little as me, once they start really hearing how I talk and what I'm saying, oh man, you know they're coming after me. You know they're gonna hush me up before I even start to even think about creating an audience. You know what I'm saying? Thank God he hasn't got an audience because people want to listen to me and then they start putting these clues together, how I'm putting these clues together. Like, all right, man, you know what? He kind of right. You know what? He is kind of right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody be doing this and everybody be doing that. Yeah. We letting everybody free and chilling, which, yet again, I'm not saying nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying nothing wrong with that. What I'm saying is we can't allow that to weaken other things that are technically going on. I don't think that should be fair or right or cordial. I don't think. I really don't think. I think we need more of a put our foot down. We need to really put our foot down. We really need to take the time out to say, you know what, you can have your way. You can have your way. But when it comes to America, we're not gonna disrupt what's going on or what's worked for so many years to make us one of the beautifulest, strongest country in the world. There's so many small cases and little things going on. It's hard to cover everything. It's hard to find the stories, the right stories, the main stories, because you know what I'm saying. Not all these stories are reported every day. I still want to go back to the officers. There's I think it was in California, Chicago. I'm not too sure. I think it's Chicago. The officer that's touching the little kids up in the precinct. You know what I'm saying? The illegal immigrants. They just put immigrants, illegal immigrants. I still want to cover that story. It's like so much is going on. When is we gonna wake up from it? Not even wake up from it. When is we gonna want to actually do something about it? Is we gonna actually do something about it when it's too late? And that's majorly how it's gonna be and how it's gonna look. It's gonna be too late. Then you're gonna do it, and it's gonna be a hard fight from coming from way down here to get back up here. When we was up here, we was really way up here. We let somebody else come, and then they surpassed us. We was like, what the hell? Now we're labeled all type of things and who we want and how they want to look at us, and you can't talk about them, and you can't say this name, or you get canceled, or hate speech and hate crime, and you can't say the word truth when you're talking about certain subjects because your truth and my truth may be two separate truths. That confused me just trying to explain that to y'all. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to see what's going on and be like, man, I just can't just lay it out for you. I can't. Because you don't know who. Because if I lay it out for you, ain't no telling if I'm going to get canceled or come knocking at your door like, look, sir, your rhetoric that you be speaking is, nah, we're not going to have it. And I'm like, man, I barely reach 100 people. I barely reach 100 people now that I went political. So I mean, maybe I can get away with what I get away with talking how I talk because, yet again, I'm not reaching a big audience. You know, one day, you know, we can reach, talk, touch, smoke, and speak about all these disgusting things that go on in America. But yet again, this is one of the greatest countries because you know what I'm saying, people here have the beautifulness of the enjoyment of doing and going wherever they want to go. Yep. There comes a point in time, and this is scary to say, there's a tad bit too much freedom in America. It's just a tad bit too much freedom in America. We just need to take our streets back. There's got to be a way for us to take some of them streets back, man. Push back with some of this rhetoric that's going on. Not get everybody scared to talk. Not saying that people who are Trump supporters like me calling me a white nationalist. That is weird. And, you know, by me just saying that, people be like, well, I know who he's voting for. I know who he's voting for. Damn, like, are you sure? You know what I'm saying? Santas can come in there and sway the person. You know, not the nigga, no, you know, I don't know. But just to say that, hey, you know, hey, we know for one he liked Trump. You know, he talks about it like he would. There's probably pictures of me somewhere they'll pull up. Remember, he had that Trump Superman shirt on. Yeah, they'll find it. They'll expose it. Yeah. Look, they'll pull up today. You remember July 11th, 2023. At 9:59, you was like Trump. They were like, I was like, bro, that's just like that's screwed up, bro. You know, you gotta understand, man. It's weird to think that like, bro, they're not coming for you yet. You want to grow your audience and shit. You might want to not grow the audience too damn much. They knocking at your door. But y'all, I love you. I love y'all so much. I appreciate people stopping by. I appreciate people putting comments out there. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everything y'all do. Till next time, y'all. Till next time. Same Burn Live station, same Burn Live channel. We're gonna talk about it. Share me out. You know what I'm saying? I know there's a lot more people that want to hear this realness and talk about what's really going on. I'm gonna keep speaking about what's going on, and I'm gonna keep it 1,000 until they come and get me. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and every time you're watching this. Peace.